Hey everyone, in this video we'll be diving into the mysterious world of fault code P0139, Lambda Sensor 2, Line 1 Slow Response. This code can be a real head-scratcher, leaving you wondering what's wrong with your car and how to fix it. But don't worry, we'll break it down in a way that's easy to understand. We'll start by explaining what the Lambda sensor is and what it does. Then we'll delve into the meaning of the P0139 code and its symptoms. Next, we'll explore the possible causes of this code, from a faulty sensor to an issue with the wiring. We'll also discuss how to diagnose the problem and, most importantly, how to fix it. So, if you're seeing the P0139 code on your dashboard, don't panic. Just sit back, relax, and let's get to the bottom of it together. The P0139 fault code indicates a problem with the oxygen sensor located after the catalytic converter on the first bank of cylinders. This sensor is responsible for monitoring the oxygen content in the exhaust gases and sending this information to the engine control unit, ECU. The ECU uses this information to adjust the air-fuel mixture to ensure optimal combustion. There are several possible causes of the P0139 code, including faulty oxygen sensor. The oxygen sensor itself may be faulty and need to be replaced. Exhaust leak. An exhaust leak can cause the oxygen sensor to read inaccurate values. Catalytic converter problems. A clogged or malfunctioning catalytic converter can also cause the P0139 code. Electrical problems. Wiring issues or a faulty ECU can also trigger the P0139 code. The symptoms of the P0139 code can vary depending on the underlying cause. However, some common symptoms include check engine light illumination. This is the most common symptom of the P0139 code. Poor fuel economy. A faulty oxygen sensor can cause the engine to run rich, which can lead to poor fuel economy. Hesitation or rough idle. A faulty oxygen sensor can also cause the engine to hesitate or run rough at idle. Increased emissions. A faulty oxygen sensor can cause the engine to emit more pollutants. Diagnosing the P0139 code requires a thorough inspection of the exhaust system and the oxygen sensor. This may involve visual inspection of the exhaust system for leaks, testing the oxygen sensor with a scan tool, checking the wiring and connectors for damage, replacing the oxygen sensor if it is found to be faulty. If you are experiencing the P0139 code, it is important to have it diagnosed and repaired by a qualified mechanic. Ignoring this code can lead to further problems with your vehicle's performance and emissions. The first step in diagnosing a P0139 fault code is to use an analysis tool logging utility. This will allow you to view the live data from the oxygen sensor and see how it is responding. If the sensor is responding slowly, it is likely that it is faulty and needs to be replaced. Yes, a P0139 fault code can affect motor performance. The oxygen sensor is responsible for measuring the amount of oxygen in the exhaust gases. This information is used by the engine control unit ECU to adjust the fuel mixture. If the oxygen sensor is not working properly, the ECU will not be able to adjust the fuel mixture correctly, which can lead to poor fuel economy, reduced power, and increased emissions. The most common way to repair a P0139 code is to replace the faulty oxygen sensor. However, there are a few other things that you can check first. Make sure that the wiring to the oxygen sensor is not damaged or corroded. You should also check the air filter to make sure that it is not clogged. If you have checked all of these things and the code is still present, then you will need to replace the oxygen sensor. There are a few other codes that can be associated with a P0139 fault code. These codes include P0140, oxygen sensor circuit no activity detected, bank 1, sensor 2. P0141, oxygen sensor heater circuit malfunction, bank 1, sensor 2. P0142, oxygen sensor circuit low voltage, bank 1, sensor 2. P0143, oxygen sensor circuit high voltage, bank 1, sensor 2. A P0139 fault code can be caused by a few different things, but the most common cause is a faulty oxygen sensor. If you are experiencing this code, you should first check the wiring to the oxygen sensor and the air filter. If these things are not the problem, then you will need to replace the oxygen sensor.